Hi. Recently I re-listened to the Neil Leibovits Big Biller Summit seminar on LinkedIn and the use thereof. And I've then read once again the transcript. I have to say, it's an hour of absolutely solid information. There's very little waffle, it's pure gold. And if you really want to make LinkedIn work for you as a recruiter, indeed anybody involved in sales, you've really got to get your head around it. Now, I came to this pretty late on, and I decided the only way I could start to get some value was by, guess what, immersing myself in it. A lot of people I've been speaking to reckon they're experts, reckon they're on top of it, but actually the more I look at their profiles, their usage on LinkedIn, I recognise they're only actually skimming the surface. So I'm going to try and give you some basic bullet points of what Neil Leibovits recommended. First thing I would suggest you do is make a note, actually have a look at his actual LinkedIn profile. Leibovits is L-E-B-O-V-I-T-S, unusual spelling, but that's how you spell it. So firstly, on his profile, he's gone from 60 to 3,000 people in under a year, which is quite incredible. But I've got another contact, guy called Marcus King, who's an Oakwood-based accountant, and he's up to 3,600 in 18 months. So it's not just about people that are selling their services, and of course they're going to be great at that. You know, you can actually work on your business as long as you nibble away bit by bit and put in place the processes and the systems that Neil talks about. So, you know, really the first thing he talks about is your profile, making it crisp, making it stand out. Your profile is your brochure. It's what's going to stand out. Now, get a photograph, you know, in close-up. Don't just put a logo in. Actually get your photograph, which I think a lot of people are doing. Don't worry so much about putting in your qualifications. That's not so important. What is important though is if you can put your website in your name, and also anything specific about what you're actually doing. So if you go on to Neil's, or you go on to Mark Whitby's, or even mine, you know, I've put something on there about what we do as a business. And in fact, Neil talks about on his website, the dynamicsale.com, there's some free content on LinkedIn. He also recommends that we use Lion, L-I-O-N, or in any variation that gives people the understanding that we're up for connections and people can connect to us easily, and we're not going to spam them, we're not going to knock them back. Now, if you look on the left-hand side of your LinkedIn profile, you've got the opportunity for 3 websites. Now, you can easily, when editing it, just put the URL of your website, but he suggests you actually put what that website title is actually about. So you might put recruitment, or you might put saving money, or whatever it happens to be, you know, exceptional staff. And rather than go to the home page, make sure it goes to the page that relates to what you do. So if you've got a particular niche, make sure that you've got the URL for your individual page. Now, think about all the keywords, all the key phrases that you're using in your LinkedIn profile. It works like Google. If people are searching for you on Google or on the internet using certain key phrases, then remember to include that information actually in your LinkedIn profile. And he says use commas wherever possible. That is like a key phrase. Don't put a full stop, don't leave a space, actually put a comma and then hit enter for a space and then write the next one. He talks about the number of connections that people have got, and he says there's a real thinning out. Once you've got about 50 to 100, a lot of people kind of give up and they say, well, actually LinkedIn's not working for me. What he says that you've really got to try harder. It's only once you get into about 3,000 connections that you can really start to make it pay. Although I've actually picked up a couple of vacancies just through making connection with LinkedIn people that I haven't spoken to for a couple of years. It's a good way of kind of getting the ball rolling again. The more people that you are connected with, the more times that you are going to search, you are going to come up in other people's searches. It makes sense, doesn't it? Because if people can be searching for something, let's say, I don't know, accountancy recruitment, you are going to come up in their search via their network. So the more effort you put in, the more times you're going to become visible. Now, with invitations, be very careful. Don't spam people, because if you do, LinkedIn are all over this. They'll actually knock you back. So just think about connecting initially with people that that you know about, or maybe through second connections, whereupon you can actually get somebody to validate, or should we say recommend you through that person. And Neil talks about working on this on a daily basis, just 10 minutes a day, just connecting with people that you've been speaking to throughout that day. Look at your emails, look at your conversations, look who you've got on your planner, those connections are the people that you're going to be much more likely to be able to connect with really, really quickly. And in terms of why they should connect with you, think about it in terms of, from their point of view, why should they connect with you? What's compelling? What have you got to say? How can you add value? It's not about selling them something, that might come later, but right now it's just about building the connection. If you're going to meet somebody at a dinner party or a club for the first time, you wouldn't go up and try and sell them what you do or who you are. You just want to build rapport. So think about that. It's about a way of connecting, but via the internet. Now, don't waste your outbound connection opportunities, these invitations. You've only got so many, you get 300, and after you've done that, 500, after you've done that, you've got to ask for some more. So be very careful. And just watch out for asking people to link with you that you don't know, because you can get stopped out. You can be perceived to be a pest or even a spammer. Now, another area which is easy to win on is with groups. You can join up to 50 groups. Most of them, they'll just let anybody join. Of course, once you've joined a group, you can actually post something on that group and you can get your information out. You can start to connect with people. You can actually build a stronger link. Hey, we're involved in the same group. How about we connect? So Neil talks about using the messaging service in a little bit more sophisticated way. He does a word letter, he puts it as an attachment, or he'll copy and paste it and drop it into his message, and that makes it stand out compared to all the stuff that everybody else is getting. Now, it's all in the transcript. I suggest you get hold of a copy of the transcript and plough your way through it. There's some really good stuff there, and there's some links to his website. Now, he talks about the searching as a really powerful mechanism on LinkedIn. And I've been playing around with this. It's amazing how easily you can find not only people, but companies, groups. You can search by geography, you can search based upon education, any number of key phrases. Play around with it a little bit. You can't break it. It's not going to cost you to try it. Also, if you're looking for somebody to link up with who's a lion, remember it's just not L-I-O-N. It could be L hyphen apostrophe comma / Lots of people use different variations of line in their opening headline. And of course, if you do want to connect with a lion, invariably they're going to come back and actually say, yeah, great, I'm up for that. The other thing which I thought was fabulous was that you can actually save a search. Now that means that once you put in let's say a key phrase or a company or a job title or even a person, every time that search comes up on LinkedIn, bingo, it's going to be in your inbox. So you don't have to keep on doing it again and again. Now listen, LinkedIn, I've only managed to literally scratch the surface. The more I know, it's a bit like an onion, the more I peel back, there's another layer underneath. So just get stuck in. But I've looked on quite a few of our profiles, and there's a lot of work that we can do to improve our visibility. So good luck with that. If you're not sure about anything, ask me on a one-to-one basis, but please get hold of these notes. Good luck.